Okay, are we ready?
Absolutely not.
Perfect.
Welcome to Beauty, Business, and Bullshit,
the podcast where two beauty besties talk about business,
client stories, how we make it through the day,
and all the bullshit in between.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Siobhan.
Let's get into it.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode. We as in Rachel, has some things to get off her chest today, and we thought it would be a really good subject to just kind of dive into and see kind of where it takes us in conversation. But it's an interesting one, and one that I don't think comes up often because it really only comes up when you're making changes or doing new things usually.
Yep. Okay, so I have been unhappy with my current scheduling system, and it came to a head today where I'm like literally just really feeling like nobody should ever use them ever, which like maybe doesn't need to be as aggressive as it needs to be, but I'm like, I felt very deceived, very manipulated, and I'm like, they had to have like perfectly like not communicated enough, so you have no idea what's going on.
Your ex-boyfriend that didn't lie, but he didn't give you all the details.
Yeah, it's like there was a lot of assuming or misdirection. I don't know how to explain it, but I wanted to talk about it while it's fresh because like, you know, the longer you go, like the more details you forget, but I'm like, it's fresh and I want to talk about it. So, and whatever, if you're really happy with this scheduling system, you do you, but this is just my perception of my experience. So take that for what you will. Little disclaimer there, but I have
used whatever software you want. We're not going to tell you what to use and what not to use. We're going to just tell
like use with
our
caution.
Experience.
Use with caution and ask more questions and ask the questions in different ways and get very specific with your questions.
Maybe read through the contract. I don't know.
Well,
make sure they send you the contract.
Or like when you cancel the contract, make sure they actually cancel your contract. And if you decide to continue with them, make sure you know what that means. Like, anyway, well, yeah, that's all part of the story. So I've been using Boulevard. I've used 3 other softwares before I used Boulevard, and I never switched because of like being upset or mad about something that happened with the software. It's either like my business grew into more complex things that it didn't support or whatever. And somebody reached out to me about switching when I kind of had a pain point with my last software, and I'll get into all of that. And that's what kind of brought me to Boulevard, which is what I've been using. First of all, like they basically only gave me a 1-year contract option. So I didn't really know, but also when you're switching, it's a big commitment and it's a lot of work. Like you don't want to switch again. And so I was like, okay, like I'll give it a try for a year
to move everything over.
Yeah. I got very specific with my questions. I dug deep, multiple interviews with them to be like making sure everything's working. And I remember both the like sales rep and their like kind of person they brought in that kind of knows more of like the background of the software were both like, we love it, but also like I could tell, I'm like, I know it's a lot because I have a lot of questions because this is a big commitment for me, but because I'm analytical, like I want to know how it works. So I get on it. They knew that I don't have a receptionist. I have like primarily booth runners and like all these things. And I get the software and they've showed me how to do everything like on their screen sharing on their computer. And I'm in a year contract now before I've actually gotten on and played with it. And I went into a lot of detail with them with like, what I need and how my salon studio, I call it a studio, works. And, you know, being able to do things from your phone and things like that. And so I get on this software and they have a 6 to 8 week setup. And they start sending me this like checklist of all these things you have to do. I'm like, I'm a full-time service provider. Like, what the did I just sign myself up for?
Yeah, and why would that not be mentioned?
And like, I think like transferring everything over, making sure it's working
they
correctly.
should do that for you.
Like I get that there might be things, but like just to like fast forward to give you a bit, like it took 2 days to do that with my new software. 2 days for them to switch me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had to get on one day and kind of, but like 2 days.
Well,
Okay.
and like they should be doing most of that heavy lifting.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't really know.
6 to 8 weeks.
It was like so overwhelming because I'm like trying to do it after work and before work and
Mhm.
between clients. And it was just like a lot. And then I'm like, it's not working right. You said that I could put a time block on the resource. And they're like, well, no, you just can change the calendar of the resource to be open or closed. And I'm like, yeah, but you can't put like an hour block in the middle of the day. You either have to have it open after what, like from 1 to 8 or 9 to 11. Like you can't do 9 to 11 and then 12 to 1, whatever, right? Which is a specific question that I asked them. But they showed me how to do it on the normal calendars, but it doesn't work the same for resources.
Pause.
Yeah.
This is just like,
Sorry.
I think that with like all of the things you have like poured into finding what works and like knowing that there's not a single software out there that checks all of your boxes.
Yes.
I think you need to partner with a software engineer and like make the perfect software.
Literally asked, okay, before I started interviewing
Like,
new ones, I literally like
we need to
asked
do
my
this.
brother who went to school for like software engineering. And I'm like, so how complicated is it
Yeah.
to create a system that does everything I want? And he's like, honestly, like, have you played with AI in that way? And like creating AI to help you create a software for that. But part of the problem is, and not really a problem, I probably could do it, but there is a benefit to like giving up a couple things to be able to like get a better credit card processing. Like a lot of these, it's already integrated in. We don't have a separate one, or we don't have to try to figure out how to integrate, stuff
and with
like
AI,
that.
it's like when there's an issue, then you have to have it fix the issue, but then
you
like
don't actually
it might
know
cause a different
coding.
issue. And
Yeah.
then you come to that problem where like with Jenna's husband's new job, it was like they're bringing him in to figure out the coding and like fix it, and like
Because they let AI kind of do it
because
for
they
them.
have
Yeah.
no idea what this coding is.
Yeah.
So that's
It
just like a
grew
different
to
issue.
it, yeah. So I'm like, don't think I haven't thought about it, but if anyone out there knows somebody that they want me to have like a killer system that just has like all the things.
We gotta partner with someone and
because
just like
I've got the details,
run with it.
Detail oriented enough to be like, this is how it should work and this is how it should link these things, and it shouldn't be that complicated.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
who knows?
Back to the story. Sorry,
like-
I'm just like
But that
over
brings
here.
up kind of a side point of like, I know that not one software is going to have everything that I need, right? Like I know nothing's going to be perfect. I know. And so,
But if you
I
know
like
what
remember
is and
sending
isn't,
emails like, I'm frustrated. This isn't working. This isn't doing what you said it was going to do. And then you get on the phone app, and the only thing you can see is your calendar, and you can see other people's calendar. That is it. I can't edit anything. You can add appointments and stuff like that. You can't see resources.
mm-hmm.
So I can't look at my calendar and know if somebody's in the private room and if I can book something at that time in the private room.
And this was Boulevard.
This is Boulevard. So then they're like, well, that's coming, but we'll get you in like the first like group that gets that. So a couple months after I start, they get me in the group. So now I can see the resource, but it doesn't even work properly. If I have my calendar pulled up, and hopefully like you guys in the industry will get this. If you're not, this is going to be like maybe stuff that you don't understand, but like resources
Just skip this
are,
episode.
yeah, some resources are kind of, it's like a private room, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why I switched from Vagaro to Boulevard was that I couldn't assign like a room and a machine to both tie to one resource. Like you could assign both of those, but it would be one or the other, not this one in this category and this one in this category, right? And so Boulevard did do that for me.
So like, because this didn't make full sense to me, because my booking system, what I need is way more like straightforward. So just kind of explain, maybe break down a little bit on like an example of
Okay.
like what the resource is and why you would need to book two different ones, or like
yeah.
why they would need to be separated for like different things.
Okay, so like at my studio, we have a private room where you can do body. It's first come, first serve. So everyone has kind of an open booth style. We like the socialness of that, but also like nobody wants their coochie waxed in public. So we have the private room. So first come, first serve. So
That just reminded me of when I got mine for the first time at your school, and it was literally like
part
they had
like
like
a little
curtains, kind of.
Yeah,
Not like
little
we're all just out
pop-up
there getting
walls.
waxed.
Yeah. Oh,
Good times.
fine.
Anyway.
So you go in the private room. So when, one girl's doing a Brazilian in there, you can't book another thing in the private room.
Right.
But also, like, I have a laser hair removal machine, which has to be in the private room, even if it's not on a Brazilian. But also that machine has other capabilities that don't require the room. So when I'm booking laser hair removal, I need it to book the room and
the machine. Two different resources.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that somebody can't book something else with the machine.
So a resource can be a room or like equipment.
Yeah. And even like I've
like
gone
a
as
station.
far as utilizing it for other things. Yeah, like a station of like, okay, I have an apprentice, but she already has her basic license. So on these days, so this is her calendar. She can do all of her basic services any of the days, but then I can create a resource attached to her master services to be only on school days. So like this resource is only open Mondays and Tuesdays. And so there's like,
That's
or
cool.
if you only want to offer a certain facial on a certain day, like we've utilized that to attach it to a resource that's only open on that certain day.
So like, I'm not going to do this. We already discussed this.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to start doing lashes again, but only on like one day so that it didn't mix in with my other appointments, I could be like,
Yes.
lashes are attached to the lash resource, and that's only on this day of the week.
Yeah. And like side note, Vagaro did have a way of you just being able to say like what days you were offering what services without resources, which I did like. Boulevard didn't have that, but then you find other workarounds, but there's just lots of different ways, like workarounds, right? And so a lot of times, even when I was interviewing people, like we have a workaround for that, but sometimes I'm like, I don't love the way that it's work.
Yeah, the workaround
sometimes
inconvenient sometimes.
Sometimes it's easier for you, but less like user friendly. Like if you have 5 different Brazilian waxes, but like somebody might not know who they want to go to, so then they have to go to 5 different ones to like see who's available when they're available. So like some workarounds, I'm like, I want to minimize workarounds, but I know that they happen because
and
everything's gonna work
workarounds
the same way.
On your end is one thing, but when it's like a workaround that you have to like teach your clients when they're booking, like that's for me, that's a no.
Yeah.
Like
I'm like, I want
my clients need an easy, straightforward
as
booking.
possible.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, so for me, that was a big thing. The reason why I didn't, when I was switching away from Boulevard, go with a couple ones, I'm like, I know that I could make it work. I love the vibe. I think you're a great system, but I'm just trying to like figure out what's more worth it for me and what workarounds I don't want to deal with and what ones I do. And so anyway, back to Boulevard.
Sorry, I keep side.
No, you're fine. I was not happy right off the bat. Okay, so resources. So when I would pull up my calendar, this is currently still a problem. It's been over a year. Okay. If I look at my calendar, Rachel's calendar, and the private room calendar together, it will only show me what I have in the private room. That's the whole reason of being able to see it, is so I can see when other people, I know what I'm doing in the private room because I can see my calendar and see what I have. And so I've like messaged them like, hey, there's a problem with this. Okay, we'll send it to our tech team. This was like last January, like a year and a half ago. So I'm like, and so we've still had some problems with like running into
Double
issues.
And
then it wouldn't tell you when you were double booking it. So eventually, like now it notifies you like, hey, this resource is booked. And so like that helped. But I'm like,
you have to try to book it until it doesn't say that. That's so annoying.
And so you would have to but if you looked at the private room alone with no other calendars, it would show you everything.
Okay. So you could still see everything.
But then you had to go be like, okay, what times is it open? And then go back to yours. So I have it open. No, I don't. Now I have to look at this date. Like that doesn't function. Like that's not functional. right? And so like that was really
It's
frustrating.
very it's not efficient.
Yeah. So when I was hitting close to my year mark, actually 6 weeks before my year mark, I was like, I want to give you guys my notice that I like don't want to use you anymore. Like I'm paying twice
So
as much.
halfway through your year contract.
No, it was 6 weeks before my year's over.
6 weeks. I thought you said 6 months.
No, sorry, did I might have.
I don't know.
6 weeks before.
So like a month and a half before.
I want to give them my notice.
Yeah.
Like this is not working for me. I'm paying twice as much as my old system. I'm either going to go back to them, and side note, I'm still having to pay for my old system because of legal things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
There's some legal
I
things that
can't
I
wait
need
for you to share that story maybe someday.
Yeah, maybe someday, but because it's a legal thing, we won't. It'll come up when we can. Yeah. So I'm like, I still kind of am paying for that one.
Yeah.
But like to keep that open, to have access to what went on and all of the information there. Yeah.
I know we can't go into detail about that, but because you have to pay to keep that open for the legal things, does that money that you're paying for that go towards like?
Well, I think that it could. I think that
that it should.
I think that is a question that I asked, and I think that it is a possibility. I'm trying not to be specific.
I know, me either.
But like,
sorry guys, we'll get into it. I promise.
It is
later.
a possibility, and it will
well, if you have to pay for it for the
I will
legal
certainly be
thing,
fighting for that. Yeah,
they should have to pay for that.
Yeah. So
the longer they're dragging it out, the more
I've
they're going to
put it down to like the minimum that I can have it be with still having access to like what I need access to. So I'm not paying like as much as I was paying when I was using it to its full potential. But yeah, super fun stuff. So like I'm either going to switch back to them, figure out a workaround, or just like find one better. And so for the past so when I went to quit, they were like, well, you need more time than that to go to another system. Because remember, it took me 6 to 8 weeks to switch everything over. So then I started like kind of like panicking. But
also, one, they're stupid.
Yeah.
Two, I think 30 days is plenty of notice to give them. Like
45.
They don't need to know whether you could have already been transferring into a system.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's kind of why I went.
You gave them more than 30 days. Like you're fine.
Yeah. So you tell them you want to give your notice, and then they
made you panic.
They send you to somebody else, and then they scare you, and then they're like, well, what are your problems? Like the retention specialist, right? To try to get you to stay. And the girl was really sweet. We had some Zooms, we had some conversations. These are my pain points. Like I'm paying for another system to give me emails, but I'm already like paying you guys too much and blah, 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 blah. And so she's like, oh, I got you approved for this price and we'll give you this many emails and texts and because I wasn't utilizing the emails and texts because I'm like, I'm already paying twice as much as my old system. And and I'm like, okay, great. Like that sounds good. But like my understanding of that conversation is I'm starting something different. I'm starting something new. She even said, I'm going to like extend to December to like give you a month to see how you like it. She didn't say that's renewing my 1-year contract.
Correct.
She didn't say like what, if it's month to month. She did not clarify any of that for me. I have no idea at that point what I'm doing, right? Like, or what I'm signing up for. But I'm like, okay, this was a pain point. They were able to reduce my price a little bit and I'm getting more out of it. Let's just see how it goes. So then I start utilizing texts and emails. It seems to be going fine. And then I kind of like assign somebody to do that for me. And then I start looking at my bill over the past like 6 months and it has skyrocketed. And so I'm like, what is going on? So I look at billing and they charged me $150 saying that I spent 8,000 text messages. I'm like, we send out 1 text blast a month. So I'm like, what's going on? What is happening? Why am I getting charged this? Well, the text messaging like comes in segments. And because we use 5 segments in this one message. I'm like, well, that was never explained to me.
No.
Nobody told me. And so I asked my girl that does it. I'm like, did it tell you? Because even in my old system, if I was going over what I was allotted, it would say, hey, you're going over. This is the charge. Are you okay with that? And I would say, yep, I'm great. $15. whatever that was, $150. And I'm just like, I don't even like, I guess if I read between the lines somewhere, but like if you're adding that to somebody, like why wouldn't you say that? Also, side note, if
Like, explain the nuances.
yeah, explain how that works, what the nuances are, because I didn't think to ask that because my other system wasn't like that. You just like when you hit the end of the text message, that's as long as it could be.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, okay, I need to figure out what else there is out there. And I had already been kind of like looking on like Facebook groups on what people are liking, and Fresha and Mango Mint were both two that like in Mevo were things that I was hearing or seeing that people talk about. And so I kind of had some ideas of who I wanted to kind of look at or interview, but I was just like, you know, life is busy and it wasn't like my top priority, but like this started becoming a problem. And so then I'm like, I don't even want to use those stuff.
Yeah.
Like the stuff they gave me, because like, I don't even know what I'm getting
now you're
charged.
like, getting extra charges for shit.
Yeah. And so I just was like, and then so you have to set up a telephone if you want like reminder text to go out. But then it lets people respond to those, and that counts against your text messages. So if somebody's like blowing it up, and like that's taking away from your text allotment, right? And then it doesn't notify you other than through my email as the account holder that somebody texts you, unless if you're sitting at a computer. Like, we don't have a receptionist. We're not sitting at the computer all day. And I'm with clients all day, so I'm not checking my emails like all day to see if it texts me. Like, no notifications if somebody's trying to say like, hey, I need to reschedule, I need to cancel, where we haven't gotten the message in time before they already like no-showed.
Right.
But then it's like, well, they tried to communicate with us, but we're not even receiving that communication. And I think that that's like a nuance of my business. Like, if you have a receptionist, that's not going to be a problem because she'll be able to see it and figure it out. But I'm just like,
but I think there's a lot of salons and studios that don't have a full-time receptionist.
yeah. And I'm like, what? Like,
I don't.
Like, this system's supposed to be
and yes, it's just me, so I could look, but I'm not going to be checking my emails.
Yeah. But
I'd expect to get at least like a text back.
Or a push notification or something, right? And so things were slipping through the cracks. And I'm also like, we all are on the go all the time. We're not sitting at the studio. So like, not being able to do stuff on my phone, like I can't edit a service or a service time or a calendar like change, or like changing, like I want to be open from 10 to
so they were
5
basically
instead of
like
9 to 5.
A desktop software that tried to give
That
you
they're
a mobile
trying
thing,
to give
but it's
me a
not.
mobile
It
thing
doesn't
that-
really work.
Yeah. And again, like, if you're a place where your people only
If
need to
you're
go
using
see their
desktop,
calendar, like when they're gone, they just want
like
to
at
see what
Ulta,
they
we
have.
only had the desktop version because you don't have access at home or like on your phone.
Yeah.
And so it's just the desktop.
Yeah.
That's
and
fine.
so sometimes if you want to just like see what you have, like it's fine. So again, like that's a thing that like didn't work for us, but they sell it as like it can be for your hybrid studio, whatever. And I'm like, not really.
You're not there yet. Stop advertising it.
And so, but like at that point, like when I had these frustrations going on, we have like, me and Siobhan have a friend where she also works somewhere, and they were thinking of switching. And I was like, I'm not happy with them, but I know like the things that make me unhappy maybe aren't going to make you unhappy because you have a receptionist and things. So like, maybe you'll like it, maybe not, but like use with caution, because I just feel like even when you have problems, it's really hard to like figure out, and they just like send you to somebody else. And then like 5 days later, you might hear back from somebody or not. Like, whatever. Okay. I know we've gone like way off the deep end.
That's fine.
But hopefully if these people are like,
hopefully this isn't that boring.
Like,
They're like,
because they
I don't
get
care
it.
about this.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I mean, we all, right. We all know what it's like to have different softwares, but
well, and being in the industry, like technical difficulties is the last thing I want to deal with, because like that's not
getting,
I'm not a tech person.
Yeah.
I'm a stylist.
Well, and one of the other systems of like, if they try to text the phone back that's sending reminders, it'll just text them back saying, this isn't a working number, call this number or whatever. So people know they can't respond to it. But then people are trying to communicate with us because it says that they can, but we're not super accessible for us.
Yeah, like if they think they can text the number, then it needs to be like giving you notifications in app or like somewhere where you can look at like text response. I don't know.
Yeah. Something else. And again, if it's not on the desktop, okay. Another thing they didn't tell me when I signed up, you have to have we all checked out from our phone and Bluetooth things like on Vagaro, right? Like they give you a Bluetooth thing and you can check people out through your
card
phone.
reader?
Card reader, yeah. Bluetooth card reader. They're like, oh, you have to have a computer and a tablet and our Duo that we're giving you for free. The Duo is like their version of a card reader, right? And I'm like, I don't have a computer and a tablet because I don't have a receptionist. So I had to buy a computer and a tablet. And they gave me like $100 gift card. And I'm like, to buy the cheapest computer, on Amazon that like for like minimum function is like 150, and buying like a refurbished tablet is like another 100, 150. So anyway, like that was another thing at the beginning that I'm like right off the bat, like what the F, right? Okay.
I'm surprised you stuck it out this long.
But but because I remembered how overwhelming the switch was, right? Like that was a pain point too. So you're like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. But it all like started coming to a head over the past couple of months. And then like I actually had one of the software companies reach out to me on, I think, Instagram. And she was like, hey, I work with Fresha. Like, do you love the software you're using? And it kind of like opened the bag of worms. Cause I'm like, you know what? I actually don't. And I'd love to meet with you, but I'm like, if I'm going to meet with them, I'm not just jumping to the first one
that reaches out.
We learned, right? So I start booking demos with like
everyone,
5 different software companies. And again, I work full time. And it was a little overwhelming because they make you book a demo, but then they call you. And so then I'm getting calls from them and they want to talk about it. I'm like, well, first of all, these are like 3 hard no's where if you can't do it, like you're not the thing for me. Like these are the hills I have to die on. Being able to have my girls have their own merchant account so that their money isn't going to me, it's going straight to them. And like just resources, like being able to work those the way that I want, right? Those are like the bare minimum. So I end up like with a 90 question spreadsheet where I'm like, because now I can't keep track of who does what, and like, okay, this one does that one, yes, no, this one has this
if
other
anything,
thing that
this girl
nobody
is
has.
Organized.
Yeah, organized chaos. And so I'm spending like weeks and like figuring out, okay, well, what do we need? What do we want? What's a pain point? What am I okay with not having? Blah, 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 blah. In the meantime, I've got to figure out when I can leave Boulevard. And so I kind of tell them, like, I don't know if I'm in a contract, like if I'm month to month at this point or what. And so I'm trying to figure that out, but I just want to know who I'm going with so that when when it's time, we have the time to make the switch. And some of them did say like the full thing would take 6 to 8 weeks and whatever. And then obviously I told you, like I went with Mango Mint is who I'm with now. And it took them 2 days. They like to say 10 days to be like,
well, because there might be complications.
Yeah. But they're like the actual like import, they could have done in 1 day, but I was going out of town. So I wanted part of it to import before so we could kind of get some of the background stuff done. And then they moved over like appointments when we were like kind of more ready to go. But okay, rewind again. So I'm in the meantime, like reaching out to Boulevard, like I tried to look up a copy of my contract. I swear I downloaded it at some point when they first sent it to me, but I couldn't find it. I probably named it whatever generic thing they had it named that had nothing to do with like Boulevard or contract, right? And so I'm like trying to reach out to them and they can't tell me. They don't know what plan I'm on. They said to check your bill and the AI told me like this is where I should see it on my bill. It's not on my bill. And I'm like, I just need to know if I'm in a month to month contract or a year contract.
That's what that sounds like.
Well, like when you go on the chat for help, because that's the only way you can reach somebody, at first tries to give you to AI and they're trying to help me and I can't figure it out. So it takes you to a live agent. They can't see what I'm under. They can't see They can't tell me either. And I'm like, I just need to know if I'm on a month-to-month contract or if I'm on a year contract, so I know like when I need to give my notice, or like how when does that end, so that I can be done, because I'm going to be done. And I'm not going to tell them I'm done until I've picked my new software, because I'm not going to have them try to convince me to stay again. Like I'm not putting myself in that position. And so somebody finally writes me back like 5 days later and is like, the way that I interpreted the email was like, you're in a contract and it's on a monthly basis. And so I'm like, okay. And I also, in the meantime, had looked up what my bill amount was and looked up, and they now post their pricing. And from what I could see, I'm in the month-to-month pricing for what it looks like. Like that's the amount of text messages and stuff that they gave me. And so I'm like, okay, I'm on a month-to-month contract. And so when I was interviewing scheduling systems, I let them know I might be in a contract, and some of them even had said like, sometimes we'll buy out your contract depending on how much, but I couldn't remember which ones did or didn't.
Well, because you didn't need to.
Because I didn't need to, right? And I would have just waited it out so that nobody had to buy me out, honestly. But like, because I didn't feel like I needed to be in a hurry. But then when I didn't have to, I was like, cool, let's figure it out. So, I mean, I want to talk about, we'll get into that. I picked Mango Mint.
Yeah.
There was a lot of great ones, but like they just had like the least workarounds, and also had a couple features that I felt like with client communication would be much better for me, and blah, 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 blah. Right. So I picked them. They are like month to month. They're like, if you're not happy, we don't want you to stay. You pay for like the 1 month's fee, but then they give you 2 months free, or at least that's what they did for me. They sent me all the equipment I needed. Like,
how hard is that?
A tablet and a card reader. I already had a computer, so you can utilize the computer in that way, or you can just do it through the tablet or the phone. You can anyway, there's a lot of great things about it. And so I'm like excited. So then I'm like, I give Boulevard my notice, and of course they send me to a retention specialist who actually,
sorry, that was not gonna hold back.
It's okay. The retention specialist that I got sent with is actually like, I think he would probably remember me, because I think I'm a unique person with how much detail and how much frustration. He probably was like, this girl's crazy.
I think so many beauty professionals, like a lot of us aren't necessarily analytical, or like we're just creatives, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh yeah, that sounds great. Like,
yeah. And I'm like, this is not
so
working.
they think that it's like an easy sell, and then they're like, dang, this girl's like
on something else,
into the nitty gritty of this shit. Like,
yeah, I'm like,
but it's good because you need to know that it's going to work for you.
But he's the person that like onboarded me for weeks, right?
Yeah.
That I'm like, I literally, as I've been trying to go back through all the emails with them to find my contract, what was actually said, and reading between the lines and the manipulation and all the things that like led me to believe that I was going to be okay leaving. Like he's who I get sent with. And I'm just like, I remember seeing like the title of my emails, like very frustrated. This isn't working. Like it was crazy. But I'm like, I remember being so frustrated, which is kind of why I had PTSD about like moving to somebody else. Right. And like having it not be what you think it is too. And so I've kind of accepted that that's just a little bit part of it. Like that's going to be a thing, and that's okay, because nothing's going to be perfect and work all the ways that you think it's going to. But you also like want to feel like the people you're working with and you're giving your money to like care about you and your business. And so he comes back with, you're in a year contract. And I was like, this is the email where he said I was monthly. This is the conversation that I had when I canceled originally. Because he basically is like, you're stuck with us for 4 more months.
You gave them 6 weeks, and then you said, hey, I want to make sure my contract. And they said, you're month to month.
Yeah.
And now he's like, nope, you're in a year
You're
contract.
in a year contract. And I'm like, this is where he said that. This is the conversation when I did cancel my contract, my original, like, and we're going, first of all, it took him 4 days, business days, to write me back originally. And then I like sending him all this stuff. Like, what do you mean I'm in a year contract? He takes another 3 business days to respond to me. And then I hear like,
hell no.
and he basically responds with, I'm sorry, but actually he was referring to that you make monthly payments.
No shit.
Not that you are monthly, like on a
I'm
month-to-month
aware when
contract.
my payments come out. Thank you.
Like, exactly. I'm like, I can find that in billing. I can find that anywhere. That
I specifically
that
asked
is
about my
not what
contract.
I'm asking.
Yeah.
I'm asking about my contract with you and how long I have to stay with you guys because you're fucking making me miserable. Okay. And so then I'm like, this was not communicated. And something that I've learned through some legal things that I'm going through is that verbal communication is still as valid as a contract, even though it's not signed. Verbal agreements still matter.
Yeah.
So I'm like, these emails where I didn't agree to another year, where it wasn't communicated to me that I was in for a year, and then it was communicated to me that I'm paying monthly when that's not what I was asking.
Right.
Like, what in the actual hell? And he's like, basically sends me a big long email saying, too bad, so sad. I'm sorry that you
You'll owe
got
us
that the wrong way.
a chunk of money if you cancel.
Yeah, like you can either stay with us or you can buy out your contract. And so I'm just like at this point, like, okay, do I get a lawyer? Maybe I will.
Yes.
Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's the buyout amount? And then I'm like, 4 days, like it's like another 3 days goes by. I'm like, I want to get this done. Like, it's been 2 weeks since I gave you my notice. It's been 2 weeks. I want to be done. Whatever that looks like, I need to figure out what that is and I want to be done. So I get Tuesday, 2 days ago, I'm like emailing like customer support. I'm like, I want an answer. Get me to somebody that will answer me. So then he starts writing me back. Again, she's like, okay, Danielle's going to write you back, blah, 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 blah. And so he starts writing me back and then pauses again. So I'm trying to get a response and I finally get an email back that I have to buy out the contract for almost the entire amount, which is like a ridiculous number. And I'm like, I had a mental breakdown. I was like, it was lunchtime and I'm like, I have to go on a drive. Like, I need to go get food. I'm going to go cry in my car.
Have a little mentee be away from all of you.
Yeah. And so I'm like fuming, I'm crying, and I'm just like, what like pieces of shit though? And I think at some point, like I even like he asked me why.
Of you at this point.
He asked me why, and I think because he knew that he wasn't going to convince me to stay. Like they're like, I don't care about my relationship with you anymore.
Yeah, and they're like, we're just gonna drain you of any dollar we can at this point.
And like when I said like I'm moving on, I'm not staying.
Well, now how many people are you going to prevent from getting water?
I hope so.
They should have saved that relationship. Just saying.
And I sent like before we got into the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Like why? Like let me know why. And I'm like, I think your software can be good for some people, but this is why it didn't work for me specifically. But like, kind of just like.
But you had communicated all of that
mad.
during your time with them.
I'm like, I'm not like, I don't think you guys are a terrible thing. You're just not for me. And this is why. And like lack of some communication, like the client.
The way you handle shit is terrible.
Well, and that was like before it was even worse. Right.
Yeah.
And so I kind of think that I was like trying to save whatever like relationship I could, but I need to be done. I don't need to be pressured into staying. I'm moving on. Like, let's go with grace. And then it's like, well, because like it was almost like they actually didn't care anymore and they just want my money and they're greedy pieces of shit that don't.
Just a
and I'm not saying that like an individual person that works there, but I'm like, they didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not some big med spa just like raking in the dough.
Even if you are.
But even if you are.
Like they could be like, oh, I see where the miscommunication happened. I see that you tried canceling. And then
like, let's
did this
meet
route.
in the middle.
So like.
Let's like meet in the middle. This is what we can do. Or whatever to like save some sort of like relationship and dignity with like people of the industry. Yeah. Right. Because everyone knows that we love to talk. Right. Like people are going to find out. People are going to know. And even like the people that I warned that I was like, I'm not happy with them, but maybe because you're a little different than me, like maybe you will be. I don't think they're happy with them either because.
Well, she said that last night.
Yeah. And she warned them too. Like she was a lot more aggressive than I would have been about how much they shouldn't go with them because of my
Other
things.
things, yeah.
But I'm like, but my things might not end up being like their things. So like I'm
Right.
you know, because they are more like they have the receptionist, they have a room for somebody that just has that room, and so they don't have to anyway.
Right.
They don't have as complex of things that I need sometimes. And so like I was pissed. I did email a lawyer to just be like, hey, can we talk about this, see if it's worth even like sending a letter or something. And then I let my company know because the person I was working with Mango Mint know that, I'm just like, well, I thought I was in a month-to-month contract. Now they're saying I'm not. And she was really sweet. And she kind of was like, let me get with my team and see if they're like, let me know what they say, because I was still in the middle of like arguing, but let me see if we can do anything for you. And so I just was like, even if they can give me, a little bit or another month off, because I already was going to pay for an extra month of Boulevard to like, just in case
when you're moving things over,
will give me time. So like I paid for the extra month for Mango Mint, and then I'm going to have to pay for a Boulevard for another month of crossover. So I was really only going to get like 1 month where I didn't have a payment, which is fine. But I also was like, ugh. And anyway, I don't want to go into too much detail, but let's just say like Mango Mint took care of me like so well, like more than I would have like imagined. And I'm like, I literally am on a month-to-month contract with them. Like I could just like cancel. Yeah. Like I could just cancel it in a month after all of this and after all of their work. And they know that. But for me, it made me feel like they care more about the relationship. Yeah. And making sure that like, I don't know. I just like shout out to Mango Mint. Like they took really good care of me. I'm not saying other ones maybe wouldn't have like done something similar, but like it just made me feel, especially after feeling like I'm just a number. Your decision. I'm just a number, and never felt like Boulevard valued anything but my money, but the money they were making. They also like, I did negotiate in my exit because I have to basically like, it's going to be open for almost the entirety of my contract, but they also like make you run cards through their system. Like they get a fee for us running cards, right? Like we have to pay a fee for that. But also you have to spend a certain amount through cards. So I also had to negotiate, well, it's going to be open, but I'm not using you. So like, I don't want to get charged if I don't use your credit cards. Right. And so I had to like negotiate that with them, and I had to get very specific and get an email from them specifically saying, and not like read in between the lines shit, right? Because some of the things that they were saying back, I'm like, nope, that doesn't sound. I'm like, I want to know exactly what is happening. Yeah. Because you guys are literally stealing money from me for no reason. Like you don't have enough business. Like I'm getting charged more than other people that are. Anyway. So F you. So we hate Boulevard. I will not refer anybody to you.
That reminded me though, when you said like they're month to month, it's not whatever. Like the salon suites I just signed with are month to month. Mm-hmm. And I got locked into a year contract with a salon suite once and like couldn't get out of it when I got into like a bad situation. And so it's nice when they have the faith in like you staying because they know they'll take care of you, that it's just like month to month, no big deal.
And I think that's like really how this whole industry is and should be, right? Like that's the type of relationship we hope that we have with our clients. Yeah. And not that we don't have
my clients aren't locked in for a year contract. How great would that be?
Exactly.
But no.
I mean, some places have memberships for that purpose, right? But I'm like, if somebody's really unhappy, like what's the point of holding them to it, right? Yeah. Like they tried, they're not happy. Like
that just breaks. Like, sorry, I don't know why I can't stop yawning today.
That's okay.
That's just gonna bring a lot of like negativity to your business,
and so
bad karma.
And I don't mind like if a year contract makes sense for you, then do it. But at some point, like, why not just make me pay for like the difference of like the $50 extra a month that I would have been paying or saving depending on what their pricing was? But that's not what they did. They did not do that. I'm like, I already feel like I was overpaying, and I don't know if it's just that they changed their pricing structure since when I apparently got renewed for another year or what happened there. But I'm just like, there's really nothing you can do. Like, I literally went out of my way to try my best to make sure I wasn't screwing your business over by sending multiple emails and
they did
stuff. And they just like were very manipulative in the way that they were communicating that. And like, when you read again between the lines, I'm like, I guess that's what they meant when they said that, but that was not clear to me. So anyway.
So moral of the story.
Oh, so I did want to share like a couple things of what I learned though when I was interviewing a lot of the different software programs. So I interviewed Zenoti, Mevo, Fresha, Gloss Genius, and Mango Mint. And I had used Gloss Genius before. I know you use them. But when I was using them before, that's when I was opening my studio and they didn't have resources at all.
Right. There's a lot of stuff they didn't have before because it was very basic. Yeah.
And you could do pretty much everything from your phone, but then the desktop was lacking. So then if you have to write out like big descriptions of your services, it was like you had to type it on your phone, which is a little bit annoying, but they've changed it since then. And so I had interviewed them because I'm like, maybe they're where I need them to be in those things now.
Almost.
And they're not quite there yet because there was going to be some workarounds for my structure that just weren't going to be as user-friendly. Mevo had Zenoti. I thought that everything was fine with them and they had a lot to offer, but it just, the price point was so high. I'm like, I have booth renters. Like at some point, like some of the things I don't benefit from, like even Boulevard, if they sent an email out, like a drip campaign, and somebody used that link to book with somebody, I got charged $1 for it. And I'm like, well, that $1 doesn't always come to me because I have booth renters. But at some point, I'm like, it's just more work for me to be like, okay, well, how many of those happened and where did the money go and all the things, right? And so that's like some of the things that are like, oh, we have memberships. Well, memberships don't work with my structure.
Just like nickeling and diming you for stupid shit.
Yeah, I did feel like that's a good way to put a lot of my experience. And I thought of it earlier, but I'm like, it felt like very much like nickel and dime. Like I'm already paying top dollar for this.
Yeah, like why am I paying extra fees for every little stupid thing?
Yeah, so Zenoti was just like, I don't want to pay more for a software when I know that there's ones that are cheaper. But I think that they could be really great for some people. Mevo had a lot of complex things that would have been really like the resources and being able to tie somebody to a resource on a specific day, like a lot of that, like I was really like moved towards, but ultimately I felt like it was less user friendly because of the complexities, which is like, I need the complexities. And so that's like,
but I want the complexities to be easy to use.
But also, exactly. And one thing I really liked about Mango Mint and Fresha is that they gave you a dupe account where you could go in there and schedule appointments and move things on the calendar and create services and also see all the different options.
Until you're like actually physically using it.
Yeah. And like you could go into the service and it would be like, this service requires no people. Like if somebody had like a tanning bed, right? You don't need a person available or like or you can assign 2 people to this for my apprenticeships. Like I have to be available and my apprentice does. So we've had to work around that. I'm like, oh, that's awesome that you can do that. And so there was like a couple things that I didn't even think of being available to me that some of them had. And I loved being able to go on and play. And both of them felt very user friendly. Fresha, there was like a couple things that I think like they'll probably change in the future. But and even like Mango Mint just switched something that I'm like, I literally just signed up with you and you switched, but I don't think it's going to negatively affect me but I also am like so happy about other things that
Yeah.
that I'm like, again, like you're never going to be 100%, but I have a lot of people coming and going off the studio. I also have like a couple dupe accounts for like different bank accounts because I have separate businesses in my businesses. So I have like a fake person that's attached to a different bank account, right? So I can ring something up that will go into the right account for them. Does that make sense? And then I have like an assistant one. So Fresha, you have to pay per person.
Ew.
So the like it starts out lower, but then you have to pay like $15. But then every person you get more texts and emails, but their texts we're gonna count again, like your reminder text count against your text message count. And I'm like, I have no idea. It might have been fine, but I don't know how many of those go out between all of us. And maybe it would be I just like
I think with that you'd have to then work it into like your contract with like your people that like basically part of like what they're paying.
Yeah.
Like you'd up their pay basically, or what they're paying to cover their cost of like them being on there.
Yeah, but then like what happens when text messages go over? And then I'm like, well, who went over on what? Because it's all just lumped into one. Like it seemed like that was, and I told them why. I'm like, I think there's so many things I love about your software and working with it. And so I told them like, you know, Mango Mint didn't have these things that I really liked that you had, but ultimately there were some other things that I felt like were more important to me that Mango Mint had. And so that's why I went with them. But yeah, so far, I mean, we're 1 week into like actually using the software, but like I'm just really happy about feeling like they actually care about my business and taking good care of me.
Yeah.
And
and if you have feedback, like they might actually take it instead of you just like telling them for a year that something isn't working.
And like Boulevard has a forum where you could submit like future ideas, but it's like, who knows if they're listening. And there's so many
like
on
that
there.
could take like 10 years.
Yeah. And all the other ones are the same way. But one thing I learned is like negotiate your contract. They will give you
everything.
They will give you a lot. All of them are willing to negotiate, not necessarily like your price, but like giving your equipment for free, giving you extra text messages and whatever. Like if you have a pain point, tell them why. Tell them why you don't want to go with them, and they will work for your business to tailor to that. And I'm not saying go take advantage of all these companies.
Yeah.
Like whatever. And again, like it's a lot of work moving from another company, changing all of our links on our booking site and our Google and setting it all up. Like it's a lot of work. You don't want to be like switching around all the time, but like interview a lot of different ones, see if you can play with it.
Don't just go with the first one that makes sense.
Yeah. And even like Mevo, I was like, can I get on and like play with it? But I still had so many unanswered questions with them by the time I was feeling really good about the other ones.
Yeah.
That I'm like, they're like, well, no, we don't have that, but like we can go through that with you like on another meeting. But I kind of was like ready to make a decision, and I wasn't really there yet with them. And just by the looks of it, it seemed like it'd be complicated. Maybe it isn't, but I do I did kind of look into why people were unhappy with each of them. Because again, people are going to be unhappy for different reasons, and that doesn't mean that they're all bad, but like it just didn't work for them and whatever they had going on. And people did say that it is a little complicated, a little less user friendly. So anyway, I felt validated because I'd already picked at that point. But anyway, I'm like, just really negotiate, really fight for what you want, and make sure that they're willing to take good care of you.
Yeah.
And one thing I did like about Fresha was that they assign you to an account person that's over you the entire time.
That's nice.
Where like if you have any problems, you have a person. And but like I haven't so far had too many problems with that with Mango Mint when I've gotten on their chat and people have replied to me, and it's honestly been like the same, like 3 people. Like I recognize the names when they're writing back, because there's been a lot. I'm like, how do I do this? Why isn't it working? Okay, yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And so anyway, I know that was a long journey, but I'm like, I will be writing some negative reviews about Boulevard, because it's not about the software not working or the lack of communication too. It's just like the lack of care of being understanding. Like yeah, that was a little complicated. Let me see what I can do. Like, I get that. I understand why you took that the wrong way. Not like, I'm sorry you took that the wrong way, but too bad, so sad.
This is what you owe us.
I just think like companies need to take care of their people. And I think people should be more vocal about when they're not taken care of. So that's what I'm like, me and my little salon and my little podcast for now and my little whatever, like we'll make whatever noise I can and hope that it just grows some fire. And if not, like hopefully they just
Well, and maybe they
make some
can learn
changes.
from it. Yeah, and just like take care of your people.
And
like,
you,
stop
like there's
taking
so
advantage of
much
people. Don't be
competition
gross.
for you. Nobody needs you. So like take care of people because your relationship with the beauty
That's all
industry
you have.
is all you have.
It's like you build your clientele with building relationships.
Yep.
Same thing.
Like any business.
Yeah.
If you've grown so big that you don't care about customer service anymore, then you deserve to go under business, not be a business anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you can't have boundaries, but like, come on. You can go back and see.
Yeah.
I have the receipts.
Like you try to tell them you were done and then they just like swindled you.
Yeah, I feel very swindled. Very swindled. There's some swindlers. And like, do they train them on like communicating in a way to be very deceptive, or is that just like their vibe?
Clothes really soft.
I know. They really are. I know. I'm like.
Also, for those of you who can see the visual or can't see the visual, I guess, we have a new setup and we have a hot pink couch with lime bright green pillows. It's very colorful for me. But it's our colors, and so it's cute.
Yeah, it is cute. A little pop of. We're both like in jeans and black t-shirts too.
I'm like always in black, but then I'm like, it's fine. It's very colorful.
I've tried.
And this setup is at my house, and so every time I walk by it, I'm like,
get a black blanket to
just cover it when we're not filming. I just have like a curtain that I just like close this off with.
Even though I was like, scene or emo in high school, kind of right during that transition, like I had the brightest color walls in my room. Like we had moved into another house.
I did too. It was literally
with, like,
this color.
It was like, yeah. I'm like, I had orange ceiling, yellow and blue walls with polka dots that I hand painted everywhere. And like that
my room was like full rainbow.
And then I'm like,
but that was like the scene.
And then I'm like,
it was very colorful.
And then I would like, wear like a black jacket, but the inside had like colorful skulls in it.
Yeah,
and then I'd wear like bright eyeshadow, wear like lime green in the inner corners, and then like yellow, and then like orange or.
I did like the full graphic liner thing.
Yeah,
and then I'd have like color in my hair, but pretty much. I probably wore more color then than I ever did after high school.
Yeah.
But I still wore, I think, a lot of neutral and like black, but there was a lot of like bright, like zebra print, like a lot of prints and a lot of bright colors.
Well,
like if it was color, it was bright color.
Most beauty schools, you like your dress code is black. And then you work at Ulta
and I started beauty school in
black.
My senior year. So I went from like, wearing all this color to nothing.
And then like.
But even then, like I said, it was either black or like bright color.
Yeah.
And it was like pops of color. I wasn't usually in like full color.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I mostly wore black and.
Lots of animal print.
Gray.
Lots of neon colors.
Yeah. Love it.
It was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I liked being a scene kid.
It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
You're still a scene kid.
I will always be a little scene kid.
I feel like you're like,
and I'm so happy it's back. Like I have 80, little clients.
Like you're like 80% scene still, and I'm like 40% scene still.
Well, I'm like this like weird hybrid, so it kind of depends on the day. But like I'm fully a scene kid, but then I have like some like emo goth aspects.
Yes,
and then like I don't know.
But I think I've always been a little bit like bubblier, even for like an emo scene kid at times. My best friend in 9th grade, when I was like full emo, like black hair, bangs in my face, only wore black except for school uniforms at the time. Mm-hmm. She was hilarious. She was very preppy, very blonde, very bubbly too, like whatever. But she'd always be like,
I'm emo because happy's an emotion too. And I thought it was like the most obnoxious thing, but it's like the best way to describe you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
Exactly.
I'm also emo, but I'm like happy emo. It's like which a lot of people describe as like the scene kids.
Yeah.
So like I was definitely more emo in like vibe, but I
That's
liked to
definitely
dress
more- yes.
like that
Same.
emo scene hybrid
Yeah.
where like you were just like bright and colorful.
Well, and I'd always get like colorful bandanas. So even though I'd be like in black,
still
I'd have
all my
like
bandanas.
my skulls that were all like bright colors, or my like rainbow ones, or my like whatever. So to match with whatever. It's
I
like
know, I love the picture of you and Brooke with our bandanas on, and
Yeah.
like we had tank tops that matched the color of our bandanas because we thought we were so cool.
mine was red. Wait, was I red? You were purple.
I was
don't
black.
remember.
Black and black. I think maybe
Maybe
Brooke was
Brooke was
purple
purple.
because we both
I just
have purple as
tied
our
a purple to you now, but yeah.
Yeah,
But I think I was more.
I
like,
think yours
liked
was red, hers was purple, and I was black.
Yeah.
I thought someone was green.
I feel like
Were you green?
I don't think I was green.
I'm gonna have to find
red
this
was
photo.
red was definitely my vibe at the time, because I think it was my red bandana with the white skulls on it in that picture.
I feel like yes. I swear someone was green. Maybe that was a different picture.
I don't know. Are you sure you weren't purple and Brooke was green?
I swear I was just black, but maybe not. Maybe I had purple.
I don't know.
I'll find it.
We'll figure it out one day.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a side note of our personal lives, not
Yeah,
beauty.
we just wanted
not
to go
beauty,
down
not business,
wanted to go
but
down
definitely bullshit.
memory lane. Lots of bullshit back then. I love it. Well, I feel like that was enough for
Yeah.
today.
Thanks for joining me on this journey of like lots of stress and tears, but also then like
Happy ending.
last night I got the message that was like, it just felt like a huge relief of just like they care and they want to take care of me, and I feel like, do I need to keep putting up a fight? No, but I will be talking about it. So
But I think that also goes to say, like, any type of contract or partnership or thing in the industry that you're looking for, like, even finding the right salon for you or really anything, like, negotiate and make sure it's a good fit for you and your needs before you, like,
but also be
commit.
understanding of other people's needs.
Yeah. And then just communicate, like, always communicate.
Because I feel like I was trained to be understanding of like by like trying to figure out what my contract was and
Right.
making sure I was holding up my end of that, and then I felt like they were very deceptive.
Yeah.
So it's like, understand that like you don't want to screw over the person, make sure the person isn't trying to screw over you, but like we're all human. So okay, that's enough.
Okay, well, also, we want to hear from you guys. We would love to learn about you, hear your stories. So submit it on the form on our Instagram and
Let us know what software you're using, if you love it,
Yes.
and maybe
The
you
ins
guys
and outs
love
of it,
Boulevard.
maybe.
We can talk about it.
yeah, tell us what you use and why you love it.
Okay, thanks for joining us.
Okay,
Bye. Okay, that's enough free business therapy for today. Thanks for making it this far down the rabbit hole.
If you love this episode, make sure to follow, rate, and share this podcast with your beauty besties.
If you have a client story, industry confession, or a business question you want us to talk about,
Send it through the link on our socials.
because honestly, the beauty industry gets weirder every day.
Find us at beauty.business.bullshit on Instagram and TikTok, or Beauty Business Bullshit on YouTube.
We are clocking out, but keeping the tea hot.
Until next time, may your clients pre-book and tip you accordingly.